What's going on, y'all? Your boy Darius here back in for another video, and this time I'm here with my review of Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix live action, basically the entire series. I was doing like episode by episode slash, like a batch of episodes, doing a review of both of them in one episode, in one video, but I basically went ahead and binged the remaining 4 episodes. So instead of just cutting those up into different videos, I'm going to talk about those episodes here and the entire series as a whole, give my thoughts on it, man. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, all right? Make sure you join the cause. I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. I can't get there without you guys. I can't get monetized without you guys. So help me get there, man. Also, leave a like. The likes, the thumbs up, man. It helps the video out immensely. Also, comment down below and let me know what you thought of the show if you've seen it, because there will be spoilers in here. So if you haven't seen it, it's gonna be some spoilers regarding the original and the live action version. So let's get into this right now. I'm gonna just go based off my notes once again. All right, I'm gonna go really quickly through these episodes so I can give like my in totality review of the entire thing. So episode 5 was Spirited Away. It was the Hebai episode from the cartoon where the spirit comes through, the forest spirit comes through, starts kidnapping people because it's just mad that the Fire Nation came and burnt down the forest, right? They do that and they switch it up. They switch it up so that Hebai isn't the cause of the disappearances. He's in the spirit world. He is definitely mad. He's in his monstrous form, but that's not the one stealing people. The one stealing people is Ko, that disgusting spider, not spider, but like centipede, millipede thing, the face stealer. That was absolute nightmare fuel when I was a kid. This nasty thing right here, yeah, Ko. They do a pretty cool effect where, like, I'm pretty sure it was like this in the cartoon, but like every time it's changing a face, it's like an eye blinking, and it's disgusting. But they make Ko basically like the villain of the episode. Like, it's the one stealing people. It's very more antagonistic. It's not like in the cartoon where he goes to it. Why did he go to it again in the cartoon? It was like to find out. I think it was to find out what the spirits were. I think what the moon and ocean spirit was, if I remember correctly. But like, it's not like Aang is going to it for help. It is strictly evil. It's stealing people's faces. It's kidnapping people so it could feast on them, which was an interesting choice. That, I mean, with it, they eliminated the whole "if you show emotion, I'll steal your face." I really wish they had that, because that made him even more scarier. That made him scarier in the show, because it's like, all right, just don't make emotion and keep a straight face, even when it's like moving all around you, and then like it goes away and like comes back and it's like in your face. Like, I really wish we had some of that stuff, but we didn't, unfortunately. We also did get Wang Shitong in the spirit world, what I thought was interesting, like getting us to introducing him this early on, so obviously we can see him later in his library. But another big part of the episode that I had took down as a note, I had noticed, is that Katara is practicing waterbending with the scroll, right? But Aang's not practicing it with her. Like, he's not actively practicing waterbending with her as he was in the show, in the cartoon, which was something that by the very end is like, oh, I see why they did that. It's not that it's a good thing, but I see why they did that. I'll get more on that later. Also, they show what happened to Katara's mom. She just gets burnt alive when Katara was a kid. This show is darker. It is definitely darker, man. The episode as a whole, though, like, they do an interesting thing where Katara and Sokka get taken to the spirit world with Aang, which I don't know. I didn't really like it. I was just like, wait, why are they with them? Like, they tried to give some explanation of, oh, the spirit energy around him, it lifted you guys into it with me. Sure, it was just an excuse to do the flashback stuff with each of them, with their parents, but that was fine. Overall, though, I gave it a 9 out of 10, just because I thought that the parts where they're in the spirit world, like, you get Aang gets to talk with Gyatso again, like, those parts where it's just a character development, I thought really good, It was the strongest part of the episode, so for that, man, I think it's a solid 9 out of 10. Now, episode 6, which was called Masks, It's basically the Blue Spirit episode, man. It was everything that happened with the Blue Spirit in the original cartoon, where Aang gets captured by Zhao. Right? They do a switch up where Zuko and Iroh they get Aang, they capture him first, and then Zhao takes Aang from them, and they do that with the help of June. They introduce June from the cartoon, with her. I forgot what that thing was even called, but the blind thing with the tongue that can paralyze you, and it can see scent patterns and trails and stuff. By the way, June in this show. This was the episode where I really liked Zuko. They give the backstory of showing everything that happened with Zuko and Ozai. How Zuko spoke out, and it was an interesting twist. And Ozai looked at Zuko, he actively wanted to hear what he said. He was just like, "What do you think, Zuko, of this plan?" And Zuko's like, "The plan is stupid." And Ozai's like, "Oh yeah, you think it's stupid? It's my plan. You're insulting me." And we get to see the Agni Kai, and my God, I think this is one of the few things that the Netflix adaptation did better than the show, and that they showed the full Agni Kai. They show the fight. They have Zuko fight in general, because in the original cartoon, as you know, if you saw it, Zuko didn't want to fight his father. He was just like, "No, I'm not going to fight you." And then Ozai burned him. But in this one, Zuko actually fights back a little bit, but when he could deliver, a killing blow, he doesn't do it. And Ozai's like, "You're weak." You know what? He takes a flame in the palm of his hand, slowly presses it to his face, to Zuko's face, to give him the burn. In the cartoon, I'm pretty sure everyone imagined, oh, it was just, he throws a fire blast at Zuko's face, gets burned. No, this one, he's just slowly you're gonna sit here and watch as this happens, and I burn my son. It was freaking crazy, and just made Ozai an even bigger piece of shit than he was in the cartoon even, man. It was diabolical. And then, they show a scene of, as Zuko's recovering, or it's the moment where Ozai banishes Zuko, where they try to twist it in a way to Ozai is trying to teach him how to not show weakness. He's trying to groom him to be a Fire Lord, to succeed him by being cold, ruthless, and heartless. That's why he does everything he does. That's why he banishes him to go find the Avatar and stuff, man. It's an interesting take. Cartoon Ozai was just kind of evil just to be evil. This version of Ozai, still evil, still no good piece of garbage, but they're trying to give a purpose to it, whereas I don't think Ozai, at least as he was presented in the show, really had a reason for just being evil. And the little wrinkle of fact that the crew that they were going to sacrifice, in their assault, that Zuko spoke out and said, "No, you can't do that to them. You can't, leave these soldiers to die." They were the soldiers that eventually become Zuko's crew. Ozai's like, "All right, since you care so much about these people, they're going to be your crew." And it was a great, the writing for this episode is probably one of the best of the show, of the entire show. And that Zuko had been having problems with his crew. They've been clashing, butting heads. But then once the crew finds out from Iroh that, yeah, you guys are going to get sent into a position to where you were not going to survive, and the Fire Lord and everyone up, the higher up generals and stuff, that was your role. They knew that was going to happen, and Zuko saved your lives. I thought that was a really good piece of writing right there. But everything with the Blue Spirit was pretty much just as it was in the cartoon, except for the music. They didn't really have the Blue Spirit theme, the ding 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 ding. They didn't really have that stuff. But the mask was awesome. They expand on the moment where after Aang saves Zuko, where they talk. Cause originally in the cartoon, he just talks to Zuko. Zuko doesn't say anything, and then he throws fire at him. But they have an extended moment where they're talking, where they're relating, and then Zuko throws fire at him. Aang knocks him out, but then still helps him along, and they talk again. But this time, Zuko's like, "Nah, I'm done," and then shoots fire at him, and Aang leaves. So honestly, I thought that was great. Iroh, this episode was really the episode where Iroh has grown on me. Starting off, I wasn't really feeling Iroh, but gradually he started to become more Iroh-like to me. I was like, all right, I really like this take on Iroh. I like what this actor is doing with Iroh. It's pretty good. Overall, I give it a 9.5. This was one of the better episodes of the show. And then we basically get to the two-part finale, right? Episode 7, The North, and then Episode 8, which is called Legends, right? It's the Northern Warden tribe. The gang arrives there. you know, and soon after will be Zhao attacking the north. And it's it's interesting because in this episode we get Sokka and Yue, them meeting up, them having their connection, and it was it wasn't as well developed as Suki and Sokka was in episode 2, because in that second episode, like, they gave a lot of time to showing their relationship developing, and like I really bought into it, like more so than even in the cartoon when they first meet each other. I really bought into it. And it's interesting because it's the inverse of the cartoon, where Suki and Sokka at the beginning didn't really buy into it, right? But when Sokka finds Yue and they meet, oh, their chemistry is awesome. I really buy into it. In the live action show, Suki and Sokka completely, totally buy into it. Oh man, ship them hard. You get to Yue and Sokka, they don't give a lot of development to them. They don't give you a lot of time with them. I just really don't buy it, So that when Yue eventually gives herself to the moon spirit in the finale, and Sokka's all sad about it, I don't really feel it. It's a big drawback for me. But this was the episode where it really became clear to me that Aang's not gonna learn waterbending, huh? Because they get there and they meet Master Paku and they go through the whole thing where he won't train Katara. He's just like, women are healers here. That's what you're supposed to do. But Aang isn't involved in any of that. Like, Aang is more so the entire season. Like, he's not trying to find a waterbending master like he is in the cartoon. He's just so preoccupied about, I have to save the North. After Kyoshi gave me the vision, the North Water Tribe's going to be attacked. I got to save it. And then he's talking to all the other avatars, talking to Roku. He's talking to Karuk, which I think I forgot to mention in episode 6. He did talk to Roku. Roku's more comedic than he ever was in the cartoon. But he's talking to all these avatars about, trying to save the Northern Water Tribe and trying to be the avatar alone. All of them are telling him, you have to do this alone. That's what they're focused on with Aang, not the fact that you are the avatar. You need to learn the other elements. Like, none of that, they don't do. It's a strange choice that they don't have Aang learn waterbending at all. Like, he only ever uses other elements when he's in the avatar state, but it's just air. He doesn't learn waterbending. That's a big sticking out point for me. And I thought it's a big L on their part not to have Aang at all learn waterbending. Like, he's the avatar, for God's sakes. Watch what happens if they get a season 2. He's gonna have learned all of waterbending off screen, and it's gonna piss me off. They also give more development to Azula. Like, they're really, throughout these episodes, they give these little scenes with Azula, really showing how much she's trying to impress her father and how much Ozai is just like not giving her the attention or the acknowledgement that she wants, to the point that like he's putting her up against like earthbender prisoners, and she's beating them all, but he's just like, it's not good enough. And then eventually she's like, I'm done with these games, Dad. And she conjures up lightning for the first time, and it's pretty damn cool. It's like they're trying to give Azula development early now, instead of like in the cartoon did, where they didn't really give her any development until book 3, towards the very end, where they're like, okay, look, she's not just an evil, bitch. She's tragic. She's got unresolved issues with her mother and father. No, they're trying to plant those seeds now instead of trying to wait until the end. So I thought that's a pretty good move. But by the finale in episode 8, everything's pretty much like how it was in the show, with Zhao going to kill the moon spirit and everything, and it all turns red. Well, it turns red when he grabs it out of the water, and then it turns gray, then he kills it. And I love that when it's gray. I'm pretty sure this was a thing in the show too, but it just looks so much cooler in live action, where everything's all grayed out, but the only source of color is the fire. I thought that was pretty cool. It looked amazing. Zuko never captures Aang like he does in the cartoon and takes him out in the snow and stuff. That never happens. When Aang becomes the ocean spirit, right, and the big giant fish thing goes around just absolutely murdering people, it's amazing to watch. It's cathartic, and they make it kind of like this negative thing where, once he's in that, he's never coming back. Like Yue is just like, yeah, there's no Avatar anymore. There's no Aang anymore. It's just the ocean spirit. You're not getting your friend back. Obviously, that doesn't end up sticking, but I thought it was a cool choice to take it that route. Whereas in the cartoon, it was just like, yep, he's the big fish monster now, and then it's fine, just let him do that, and he'll come back. Nah. In this, they're just like, no, Aang has got to come back because if you like, this is not good. Like that is full on ocean spirit. I think Yue says at one point, once the Fire Nation is done, he's just gonna continue to go out looking for vengeance. He's not coming back. I thought that was really good. Another really good moment here is where Zhao reveals to Zuko that Azula's pretty much been behind everything in terms of Zhao standing in Zuko's way, also that Azula can be the rightful heir now. I thought it was a pretty good reveal, even though like we kind of knew about it already. But the moment was really good. Like Zuko's realization of my sister is fucking me over, and Zuko's actor, once again, he's one of the best actors in the show. I feel like the acting in the show so far, or throughout the entire show, since we're at the end here, the acting's been hit or miss. I feel like Katara and Aang, they're the younger of the cast. So I don't know if you can expect much for them. They're child actors, but they have their moments where they're good. They have the moments where I'm just like, it's kind of cringe. But Zuko, Iroh, Sokka, among the best actors in the show for me. Obviously Ozai as well. Daniel Day Kim, love that dude. By the end, when everything sets in, man, and I really realized that Aang didn't learn waterbending. It was a moment. I was just like, it's stupid. Why wouldn't he learn waterbending? I think the show overall, right? If I had to give it a grade, I give like an A minus, right? I was looking at all my different scores, and I did some maths, some Steiner math, but I did some maths, and I was just like, yeah, it's probably an A minus, where it's not perfect at all. The biggest problems with the show is its pacing. Number one, like they rushed through a lot, and they didn't need to, man. Like I feel like the show should have been longer. They rushed through a lot. The pacing is just it's not good. Like I said, the additions, I thought the additional stuff, like getting to see the Agni Kai with Zuko and Ozai, like those are the moments where I'm just like, yeah, I love that I'm seeing this. But then there are moments that they take away and they change. I'm just like, I don't like this. Like Zhao, I'm sorry. Like I know what they were going for, where like he's this low officer, wasn't worth much, and then he's on the come up now, and he's got this chip in his shoulder. That's why he's always talking about they're gonna write books about the great Zhao, and all. Like I get what they're going for, but the performance of Zhao that we got in the cartoon compared to this one, the character, the presence, all that, it's night and day. And I think it was the wrong choice to have him be like this no-name dude trying to make a rise. Like if the character hadn't been that great in the show, fine, you can do that. But the character was pretty damn good in the show, and it just pales in comparison, right? I think the best thing about the show is that they clearly respect the source material, right? The spirit of a lot of it is there, just not as much as it could have been, right? Like Aang, for example, is way too damn depressed and sad this entire series. He's always just like, it's because of all the avatars telling him, hey man, being the avatar sucks, dude. Like all of them tell him that, and that's his entire, like, every episode he's just thinking about, man, being the avatar sucks. I have this responsibility, which he does. But the beauty of the original show is that they had so many moments where he could just be a kid, to where he could just shed all that, right? There's no moments in this show for him to just shed all of that and stop stressing and being so depressed and down and sad, like all of that comes in like later. I think that's what makes the original cartoon work so much with that element, is that throughout the show he absolutely understands the responsibility of being the avatar, and he takes it seriously, but not too seriously to where he can still be a kid. But at that crucial moment, at the most crucial moment in book 3, when it really gets real, that's when he starts to be like, okay, this is something I can't be a kid right now. I have to be the avatar now. But it's a journey, and it's a journey that I don't think we're really going to get, because he's already at that point in the first season where he's just like, being the avatar is such a hard responsibility. I got the weight of the world on my shoulders. As this, he could have had a little bit more fun for me, man. He never really has a moment to be a kid. I I hope they fix that in the next season if they do get it, because you know Netflix loves to cancel shows one season in. But yeah, I saw that critics are like really hard. They're really harsh on this. Like Rotten Tomatoes got like a 50 something, 57 I think, or 59. I think the audience score is like 70, 79, 75, one of those. But I think I enjoyed it more than I did, but a lot of the different changes I didn't enjoy. And hopefully, if they do get another season, you know, they introduce my girl Toph in there. Hopefully, they can bounce back in a way that isn't too serious, and in a way that isn't too rushed, and it all kind of neatly falls into place. That's all I can hope for, man. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action on Netflix. Have you seen it? What do you think? Let me know all that, man, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.